8 dimensions. This one's in 8D. You see, this is why I didn't want to do the first one, because this one only has 4. When, you know, this probably is more accurate anyways, because everything is so nuanced, right? It's like left and right. There's not just a left and right. There's an up and down. And there's not just an up and down. There's a diagonal. Okay? Guys, it's 4 in the morning and you can tell. Okay, I'm gonna try and... Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna try and read the chat. I'm gonna try. It's hard to troubleshoot because Google ranks via trending SEO keywords and awards work on profiles. Can you give an example of a prompt where Gemini others aren't doing what you need? To be honest, I can't remember what it was that Gemini just like 3 strikes you're out kind of thing. Like, you know, I don't, it's not that I, the thing about Gemini is that it imposed itself on me. You know what I mean? It's like, suddenly Gemini was on my phone and I'm like, I didn't ask for this. Why are you suddenly like making searches for me? Like, I didn't ask for you to do this for me. It just like was there. ChatGPT didn't do that to me. I seeked out ChatGPT. And that's the difference. People don't like to be imposed upon. And it's not, and it's like, especially by a company like Google, like obviously, like, what are you doing on my phone? Like, get the fuck off my phone. I don't want this AI on my phone kind of thing. ChatGPT, it's AI, but it's like on a browser. It just doesn't feel as intrusive to me. Like, Gemini just feels intrusive, as does many Google products, like, you know what I mean? And you try to like cancel these Google things and somehow they always make their way like back to like download all your pictures and stuff, like, you know what I mean? Like all these like sneaky things they do, I don't like it. Which phone do I have? I have a Samsung, and I never want a Samsung ever again after that. I'm so negative, but like honestly, I never want a Samsung. Ugh. I'm never gonna get any sponsors. I'm just like bashing everyone. You're shouting. What are you shouting at? It's literally the first one. I don't want the first one. That's the problem. I don't trust Google, so I don't want the first one. That's the problem. Okay, so how do I take this test? How do I take this test? Take the test. My nation should topple foreign governments which do not follow my nation's principles? Disagree. I'm not going to strongly disagree. I'm going to disagree, though. Wealthy corporations should be prohibited from financial involvement in politics. I strongly agree with that. And just because I'm pro-Trump doesn't mean I'm pro-Elon, guys. Okay. Certain social media platforms should be owned and regulated by the government. Strongly disagree. Certain? I'm gonna strongly disagree. The political system should be trusted to reform itself. Should be trusted to reform itself. I disagree. I think that is, how do you call it? Wishful thinking? I think that's wishful thinking. Like, I don't know, like, I hate to say it, but, there are many ways to access AI, including offline. Let me know if you get stuck. You stay pretty up to date. Oh, thanks, X. Setting under advanced features, under advanced intelligence. Huh? You can turn off Samsung AI. I already like I had to remove like the Google search because you can't. It's basically if you have Google search enabled, then Gemini is gonna be enabled, and I'm like, what the fuck, no. I don't fucking like that. Like, make it separate, you know? Like, don't. I just don't like that because my phone, I already know it's listening to me. You know what I mean? Like, that's bad enough. Now, like, leave me alone. Stop installing shit I didn't ask for. I hate that. I hate all these apps that I can't disable or get rid of because like it just comes with the phone. I don't like stuff like that. I'm not down. Military service should be mandatory. Disagree. The manufacturing industry should be publicly owned. Neutral. But like because I'm not sure. Like honestly, I'm not sure. Diplomacy is a better foreign policy asset than a strong military. I love diplomacy. Well, let's go back. I'm not like a strong military is important too. I think like not necessarily to actually use it one day, but like you need to be able to defend yourself. I think at the very least. Agree. Wait, go back. Yeah, okay, agree. I feel like not enough people care for diplomacy. Revolution is the only way to achieve the society I desire. Revolution is the only way to achieve neutral. The rich are too highly taxed. I don't know. I'm not sure because like I've never been rich, so like I don't know. Are they too highly taxed? Also, like it depends where, right? It depends where. I'm gonna say disagree since I'm in Canada because like I don't know. I don't know enough. I don't know enough about that. International tax systems should be implemented to mitigate tax avoidance. International tax systems? What do you guys think about this one? DeepSeek is best than any AI. Let's just check this because this is actually a video I wanted to watch on stream.
Propaganda for a living, seeing a push
as
a guy that looks at Chinese propaganda for a living, seeing a push of something of this magnitude, this DeepSeek thing, this is more than enough to get my attention. Pretty much every single social media person, every single news outlet, every new comment or message that I get is about this Chinese DeepSeek AI and how it's just revolutionized the game. And actually, not just the game, but the entire world. This has caused China to completely destroy the US in AI and tech supremacy, something very important in our future. I weirdly see this ubiquitous opinion from just about every side of the political spectrum and pretty much everyone out there. DeepSeek. Think of it like ChatGPT. This app has taken the world by storm. In fact, it's the #1 app on all the app stores right now. But what is the real story behind this meteoric rise?
Didn't see the answer on the military service. I said it should not be mandatory.
Part of something bigger and a more sinister strategy orchestrated by an adversarial country, this time the Chinese government? Or is it all just bullshit? Well, let's start with the facts first. DeepSeek has rocketed to #1 on the App Store seemingly overnight, and many of its users report that it performs exceptionally, sometimes even better than the established platforms like ChatGPT or Google Gemini. In fact, I spoke to some experts in the industry, and they have confirmed that yes, in fact, it does
Which are the
work
most taxed,
excellently.
except
This has
in Nordic
caused
countries?
mass
No
panic
taxation
in all the
without
markets because
representation.
people are selling off all their AI tech stocks because
This is
of
great.
this
What's great?
insane narrative that China has just completely
What's
changed the
great?
world or changed the whole AI game. But this does raise important
Listening
questions.
to you,
In
but
fact,
it
I'd
would
like to
take
point out a
time. You
lot
don't
of
have to
important things
have
to you.
Gemini.
Because did this happen organically?
You must have either clicked accept or the NA has some agreement, but it should not appear without consent unless it came pre-installed when you bought. I never like just click accept on things. You know what I mean? Like to me, it's not the first time Google has just imposed their products on you. Like they do it all the time, and it's so
Or
annoying.
is there more to
And
the story?
it's just like they also like censor shit, so I just don't really trust Google honestly as a news source. I don't really trust it as like a searching thing, like. And because I got rid of Google search on my phone, and I got rid of because that's the only way to get rid of Gemini. The only way for me to do a Google search or a search in general is I either click on ChatGPT to search whatever it is I want to know, I want to find out, or I'll have to open a Google Chrome thingy, a window, in order to search within like the Google Chrome window. But the actual Google search function I got rid of on my phone because
This video is brought to you
it
by
was the only way.
The last time
So 9 times out of 10 I'm reaching for ChatGPT. I'm not like when it comes to things that need factual like checking, stuff like that, like I'm not just gonna blindly believe what ChatGPT has to say. And I've actually like argued with ChatGPT many times, just like calling it out when I don't agree with it. Ow. But you can't really do that with Google, so I think like that's why I continue to like I just find like ChatGPT will give me the answers I want, and Google will not. Like very, very rarely will I find, like maybe it will send me to a Reddit link that like, okay, the Redditor kind of is facing the same problem that I am. Kind of, not really. Oh, but nobody replied to him, so I can't really, figure out what I was looking for anyways. Like that's my issue with Google.
I went abroad, I had to
It's
stand
just a waste
at
of
an
time.
airport in line
Too much time
for
wasted.
over an hour to get access to a SIM card because my phone wasn't working in that country. With Saley, you can eliminate this hassle immediately. The connection you need, SIM card can make. It's super easy to set up. All you have to do is download the app. It's compatible with iOS or Android devices, and it works with all smartphones that support eSIM technology. You choose a plan that works for you. Multiple plans in over 180 countries and 8 regions are available at some of the best rates online. Guess what? If you're traveling to multiple countries, you can get a you when you've com/cmilk, and that's 15% off. Or you can just scan the QR code on the screen right now to get that discount too. Don't forget to go to saley.com/cmilk
how you doing?
and use the code cmilk at checkout.
You'd love to explain to me how everything works if you are ever interested.
Thanks.
How everything works.
Well, first of all, DeepSeek claims to have developed an AI model using a small amount of NVIDIA GPUs.
On the international tax question, you'd go neutral or disagree because that adds that adds to the whole world tax system, which the US and Canada definitely pay into already. There you go. There you go. Neutral. I was like, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Religious values should inform law. Disagree. Welfare programs that sometimes benefit those too lazy to work should be reduced or eliminated. Kinda, yeah. Kinda, yeah. I agree with that. All taxes should be abolished. I'm not sure what would happen. Like, what would actually happen? I don't know about that. Publicly owned research institutions such as space programs should receive more public funding. Should receive more public funding. Public funding is like like the people funding it. Like the taxpayers are funding it. Is that what it means? Hydrate. Thank you.
Years of research and a budget of only $6 million, they managed to pull off an AI model that would embarrass these tech giants that pour billions into their AI infrastructure. What this means is that AI has just been made more efficiently and has shown that China's on top. But can we really buy this small-town, homegrown underdog story? Wait a second, where have I heard this before? Charles Archer, a financial analyst, helped
you have like
jog
100
my
more
memory
doubts.
on his recent Substack, linked below.
It's like trying to know your
lied about the other MBTI. What is that? That have caused markets to go wild.
Bloatware equals pre-installed unneeded. Oh, that's what. Okay, bloatware. I hate bloatware. I hate it with a passion.
Just so that they could take advantage. With a passion. Where have we heard this before? How about the straddling bus scam? A giant bus that ran on tracks with enough room for cars to pass.
Which guy's an idiot?
It got so much international attention and excitement that China was.
Google used to be good. Yeah, Google used to be amazing, and then it just sucked.
It turned out that it ran on rubber wheels, it overheated, and it didn't even work. It was literally a massive scam. It was a lie, it was made up, but could we expect anything else from China, the land of shortcuts and facades? How about the Hanshin microchip scandal? A notorious Chinese academic
AI isn't 100% rational, though. No, I agree.
Was reportedly the first DSP chip to
because they try to act like humans, but they just
the chip was later revealed to have been developed.
Why are you always hurting yourself? What do you mean, George?
A former Motorola subsidiary with the original identification sandpapered away. Later in 2023, Power Leader, my favorite Chinese
You're doing good, Molotov. That's good to hear.
Went wild all over the internet. They basically went out to prove that China could make their own chips. They weren't gonna be hurt by all these sanctions and chip restrictions.
Alex
and stuff.
sounds like an AI bot trying to sell folks on DeepSeek.
An Intel i3 processor with the label taken off and rebranded as Power Leader. It was literally the same story 20 years later. How about when China sold everyone, except the scientific community, on faster-than-light communication? It doesn't exist. It cannot exist. They lied. It was made up by the Chinese government, yet people flocked to talk about how advanced China was, and everyone believed this nonsense. How about the Hongqing
Good night, Skijort.
The Wuhan Communist government funded an ambitious plan to experiment with bat-derived coronaviruses.
No taxes, anarcho-capitalism, best system to create growth. You couldn't see the question. Sorry.
This corrupt disaster quite literally destroyed China's chip-making reputation abroad.
Publicly owned research institutions such as space programs should receive more public funding. So, like, when they say public funding, do they mean, like, taxpayer dollars, like, go to it or whatever? Like, what do they mean by that exactly? Yeah. Publicly owned should receive more. So, like, more public funding. I'm neutral. My nation's political system is dysfunctional and must be reformed. Strongly agree. Government officials should be selected through a democratic process. Strongly agree. A carbon tax should be implemented to encourage the... No, I disagree. F your carbon taxes. You want a carbon tax? Look towards the countries that are actually producing the most carbon. Don't look to the fucking people... Don't look to the citizens to pay your carbon taxes. Like, Canada is responsible for like 2% of carbon emissions compared to, you know, other countries. Like, why do I have to pay a carbon tax? It's just like BS because, like, they're already taxing so many other things. they want to propose, they're trying to propose a rain tax in Toronto. A rain tax. A rain tax. A rain tax. Fuck your taxes. No Kaza or Nascan, but we're all producing carbon. Yeah, we all are, but some countries are producing way more carbon than other countries. And it's like, if it's really going to be the end of the world, why are we doing nothing about it? Like, why are our governments taxing us and then using that money to go on private jet vacations and not like putting pressure on other countries to fix their shit? You know what I mean? Why does it fall on us? It's BS. It's BS. It's not like, that's what makes people not believe in climate change. When you see all like when you see what people do with your carbon money, no wonder people don't believe in carbon. Like, no wonder there's climate change deniers. You know what I mean? No freaking wonder. And then people act like climate change deniers are some kind of like crazy conspiracy theorists. I mean, it's like, if it's really the end of the world, like, why aren't you like trying to fix those other countries that are way worse when it comes to carbon emissions? Why are you spraying the sky full of crap? How does that help exactly? Why do you make it feel like it's like actually the globe is warming with all this spraying? Why does it feel like I'm actually like in a greenhouse now? That's not normal. That's not, you're not like you can't convince me that's normal, like regular pollution that's coming from cars. It's not, because I can see it coming out of a plane's ass and it doesn't go anywhere. It's not condensation. It's just like it stays there in the sky and then it becomes a huge ass cloud or haze blocking everything and making airplanes crash into drones, and I don't know, everything's fucked up. I'm starting to get into conspiracy land, which is my favorite land, okay? People should not worry about government surveillance if they have nothing to hide. Strongly disagree. It's about the principle. I have nothing to hide. Personally, I don't think I have anything to hide from the government. But it's about the principle. Like, it's about the fucking principle. You don't just, like, what kind of fucking question is this? People should not worry about government surveillance if they have nothing to hide. Why are you surveilling me in the first place? That's not a free country, in my opinion. Like, that's dictatorship. That's communism, in my opinion. Like, that's just weird. It's, there's no, like, principle in that. There's no, I don't know. I don't like that. Elections should be publicly funded to reduce the influence of private money in political campaigns. Let me read that again. Elections should be publicly funded to reduce the influence of private money in political campaigns. That's a good question. I'm trying to like think about Kamala's campaigns and Trump's campaigns. Kamala got a lot of money. Didn't she get a lot of money? And then she also wasted a lot of money. I'm gonna say I disagree. New technologies should, and I'm sure like Trump got a lot of private money too. Like, I'm just trying to think. I just feel like Kamala wasted the most money. Like, she wasted a lot of money is what I heard. Like, didn't she pay 10 million or something to Beyonce? Or how many millions was it? New technologies should be regulated to prevent the automation of jobs and minimize unemployment. What's a no? You strongly agree with private should be able to give money? She does. You want to discuss this in the future? There's so much to discuss, guys. There's so much to discuss. B said the cloud trails come out the airplane's ass. It does. New technologies should be regulated to prevent the automation of jobs and minimize unemployment. Yeah, I agree. I think new technologies should be regulated. Like I think AI should be regulated and stuff like that, right? I think that's normal cuz like AI could like in the wrong hands, you don't know, right? I don't know. What do you guys think? Economic regulations should be tightened to more effectively prevent the emergence of monopolies. Sure. I don't like monopolies, so I'm going to say sure. Whistleblowers who reveal crimes committed by the government should not be prosecuted. I agree. Certain ethnicities, genders, or sexual orientations should sometimes be given preferential treatment. Disagree. Like we're like because the whole thing is like we're supposed to be all we're supposed to be equals, right? So why should one group get preferential treatment over another? I don't think anyone should get any preferential treatment, in my personal opinion. Corporations can be trusted to operate ethically without excessive regulations. Sure. I don't know. Not sure. I'm not sure about that one. The implication of that question was that public funding would limit their ability to spend. True. But it's like right now there's drones in the sky and I'm like, why are my tax dollars up there? Why they don't give me any answers? It's like there's they call it a democracy, but then they just do whatever they want with your tax money. It's not like you actually get to decide what is done with your tax money ultimately. You know what I mean? So is it really a democracy? It doesn't feel like it to me. Like I don't remember voting for all the bullshit that Trudeau did to the country. I didn't vote for that. I don't think anyone did. Do you know what I mean? Like they just decide to do whatever they want with your money. The implication of that question. Sorry. What does that have to do with us funding campaigns over super PACs? You know, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. It means the people have more influence over politics. That's a strongly agree. I think wait. Which one are you talking about? Like, but with the money, like, I don't know. These questions also are good at capturing incorrect beliefs that exist within a group. Regulating AI is pretty hopeless. Best thing is voluntary coordination. You respect Elon Musk for his extremely dire warning of AI. He seemed to have found out just how bad AI can get. But doesn't he like own part of ChatGPT? So isn't he like part of the problem? Economic inequity is a greater issue than social inequity. Yeah. I think so. Justice should be primarily rehabilitative rather than punitive. Yeah. The only social responsibility of, like, if they do it right, if they do it right, the only social responsibility of a company should be to deliver a profit to its shareholders. I don't agree with that. I feel like the point of a company is to like provide a service and not necessarily to like make sure shareholders are, I don't know. I don't have any water left. Damn it. My country should open its borders to countries with similar cultures, governments, and judicial systems. Open its borders. I disagree. No. I'm sorry. You know, like, it sounds all handy-dandy, like, fine and dandy and whatnot, like, kumbaya, but at the end of the day, like, when it starts happening to you, when it actually starts happening in your country, and when you actually start to see it change your own community and your own neighborhood, it's like I can't take my nephews to the park. Like, I know for some of you, you might be thinking, oh, boo-hoo, what a first world problem. You can't take your nephews to the park. But, like, at the same time, like, you know, it's like, okay, you just want me to feel bad for, like, you know, illegals or something. You want me to feel bad for, that's fine, but I feel bad for my niece and nephew who aren't gonna have the same upbringing that I got to have, you know what I mean? So, stuff like that. I don't know. It's like, I'm not gonna sit around and pretend that I feel bad for, like, people I don't know. You know, because it's gonna make me look good. Like, that's what I feel like a lot of people who are like, do you even know what you're really fighting for sometimes? I feel like people just, they just want to look like they care about a cause, but I don't know, do they actually? As an aunt, like, I care about my niece and nephew and, like, them having an amazing childhood, like one that I got to have, and I feel like that's being taken away from them with the whole spraying of the sun, like the sun doesn't shine, you know, there's all these different ideas in their minds, like, they're just kids, they have to grow up with the internet, you know, there's like, I don't know, it's just, and now they can't even go to the park, you know, they can't even go to the park without somebody watching them the whole time smoking marijuana or something, like, and just being there, like, all the time, just all the time. And this is like one specific example that I'm talking about, but it's like, well, there's other examples that I can give that I'm not going to because this is a touchy subject. But until it starts like affecting you, until you start seeing it in your own community, like, I feel like a lot of people who, like, I just feel like a lot of people haven't been affected by this yet. And a lot of people have. And once again, that's why, in my opinion, Trump won. Because a lot of people have been affected by this. And this is just one other reason, on top of the many, many reasons why I think Trump won. Anyways, next question. Due to ethical concerns, abortion should be restricted in most or all circumstances. I think, like, personally, like, whether or not abortion is, like, wrong, like I don't want to speak on that, but personally, I think that the option should be there. So wait, did I? Yeah, like I don't think it should be this, like, propagandized, like, you know, abortion trucks. That was, like, too far. Like, what are you doing? Abortion trucks? Like, that's fucking weird. You know? Like, it should be an option, but it shouldn't be, like, advertised like that, in my opinion. Like, that's fucking weird. That was weird. Was that not weird? That's just weird. Like, you know, it can be an option, but, like, don't just, like, what were they thinking? That was so weird and stupid, in my opinion. Abortion trucks? That was the weirdest thing. I just remember, like, what was that? So dumb. Another reason why they lost. Honestly, I'm not sure about that. Corporate exploitation of cheap foreign labor ultimately benefits everyone. Nah. A region in which succession has democratic support should be recognized as an independent nation. Huh? I don't get this question. Not sure. The public should directly vote on important policy decisions rather than relying on representatives. I always have to like read these twice because like look guys, English wasn't my first language. As much as it may appear to be. The public should directly vote on important rather than I actually strongly agree with that. Torture even during warfare is morally wrong. I strongly agree with that. Hold on, let me go back. Let me really think about it. Yeah. It is acceptable for the state to censor websites which speak negatively of the government. Strongly disagree. The government is trustworthy. Strongly disagree. Religious attire should be required by law. Strongly disagree. Sacrifices to living standards should be made if they are necessary to preserve the environment. It's like, how do I know that this whole environment thing isn't just BS? Because my government, they say that there's, you know, a problem with the environment, yet they take private jets and use up all our money for things that they don't do anything about the environment. So it's like, do I even believe that anything's wrong with it to begin with? Like, it is now that they started spraying. But it wasn't them. It was us. I'm like, normally I would say I'd probably go neutral on that one, but you can thank Justin Trudeau for the way I answered that previous question. Foreign-born migrants should be required to learn our language. Neutral. The government should never interfere with religious traditions. What if the tradition is like something crazy? Like it depends on how far those traditions go, honestly, in my personal opinion. Like if those traditions are not abiding by certain laws, then I think the law should trump. I think law trumps religion in when it comes to like public I don't know, okay? Voting is pointless. I strongly disagree. It is never acceptable for protesters to break the law. I strongly agree. A united world government is a goal mankind should strive for. I strongly disagree. It sounds nice and all, but at the end of the day, who's gonna be in charge of that? All the same people we don't already like. Right? So it's like, now they get a hold of the whole world? I don't think so. Like, there's already only like 3 monopolies in Canada. Like, we only have two options for internet. Bell and Rogers, and then all our groceries are owned by like 3 people. So imagine how many monopolies, like imagine the types of monopolies if the whole world became a united government. I don't think so. That's no way. That's not a good idea. It sounds nice, but we're not there yet. Let's just, like, we're not there yet. You know what I mean? Also, F the WEF. Santorini in the Mediterranean is having an earthquake storms, which experts say could lead to an eruption. I'd strongly disagree. I think that people should be free to practice whatever religion they want to practice, so long as they're abiding by the country's laws. I disagree with this. Screw your whatever it is. This to me just sounds like woke nonsense. I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel. Currency should be abolished. I agree, but what would that look like ultimately? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna say I'm neutral on that one. It would look like communism. Everyone's evacuating? Oh my god. It's that serious? Holy shit. Man, I wanted to visit Santorini. That's like one of the places I've always wanted to visit. You do politics mostly nowadays, man. I remember you crawling through the ice caverns in Zelda. It would look like... So... I don't want to say I do politics. Like, I kind of am just, honestly, am just like... kind of hyper focused on current events, and that includes like a lot of politics. And it's like I could be playing something, but like there's too much news that I like want to talk about or get to, you know what I mean? And that's kind of been like what I'm. But I did recently play Penumbra and I beat it. That was fun, and I want to get back into gaming. I just like feel like I need to catch up on all the news that's happening. So much happening. There's a danger of tsunami and volcano eruption. Fort meet Daddy. How's it going? If you want to buy a house there, now's the time. Maybe not now. Maybe when everything has calmed down. Like, obviously, it's... I know what you mean. Like, it's, like, probably really inexpensive right now, but... I guess you'd buy and just, like, wait. Let the eruption just, like, demolish the house for you. Rebuild. That's dark. That's dark. I hope nothing bad happens, honestly. Is it, like, definitely gonna erupt, or what's going on here? You haven't been on Twitch in like 5 years? Or I haven't been. 10 hours in 16 minutes. You're joking on the prices now? I know. Let's finish this video while...
How about brain reading AI?
Let's finish...
China got everyone riled up saying that they've developed tech that can read people's
When
thoughts.
he starts talking about DeepSeek, I'm gonna
because they thought
switch
China
back.
had some revolutionary tech that could like Jason Bourne you basically, and they didn't. Isn't any of this starting to make sense a little bit? They lied. It was made up. You guys ever hear about the 3-second battery? Oh my goodness, this was all over the Chinese internet, but then it crossed over into the Western internet
3-second
and
battery.
got everybody super excited. The battery that only takes 3 seconds to charge. It doesn't exist. Yet everyone online certainly thought it was real. It was pushed by massive accounts, and people started investing in China over this. It's fake. It's a lie. I could literally go on for days. China's fake green cities that turn out to mold and rot. Nobody lives in them. What about their tofu-dread construction of millions of extra apartments that stay empty, and then millions of apartments that never even get built, even though people have poured all of their life savings into it? This isn't new, guys, yet we're buying it all again. Industry insiders, including professionals at established AI firms, are already expressing deep skepticism about DeepSeek's claim.
All right, we're halfway there. So at the halfway mark, let's just finish this.
Concerns regarding their choice of GPU model, the training infrastructure, the dubious marketing narratives that are circulating in the tech community, it's all a little bit sus. According to Charles Archer as well, his view out of the 3 possibilities are: number 1, DeepSeek reverse engineered an API from Llama, or another open source language learning model, to train their model, effectively leveraging that language learning model's training logic without their own original development. Number 2, they actually used advanced NVIDIA H100 GPUs, which could potentially have been funded by the CCP, meaning these resources may have come at no cost to them. When you hear the words obsolete hardware, it's hard not to think, could this be another facade? By employing older technology, are they merely sidestepping US chip bans and restrictions? And where did these GPUs, even the older GPUs, actually come from? You see, NVIDIA's products have significant backdoor access to markets like China through places like Singapore. So what's really going on here? Are we witnessing a strategic play designed to scare US investors and shake confidence in domestic tech companies? China is not a free country with a free market. There is no need for speculation on this. The Chinese government was involved in dropping this AI model to disrupt the US. Every company in China is related to the Chinese government. China has been actively trying to cause chaos and disrupt the US through billions of dollars being flung at its campaign at global dominance and influence abroad.
Why do you think this is dumb?
Hunt down political dissidents, to the ridiculous stunt that's being pulled with TikTok, where TikTok banned itself to make people...
Yeah, so apparently TikTok banned itself.
People have sympathy over it. The Chinese government is involved in everything that China
interesting.
Does. That's just how it works. It's a one-party authoritarian dictatorship. You don't believe me? Well, if China's priorities were straight, they would have released this DeepSeek
You're on edge of your seat.
Unfettered and uncensored. But they simply
You're looking forward to the results and seeing how based I am.
It's not allowed. It's not allowed in China. You can't say anything negative about the government in China. And guess what? You can't do it on DeepSeek either. With DeepSeek, China isn't even hiding its censorship anymore. Look at what it does when you try to mention literally anything critical of the Chinese government. However, it's happy all day to criticize the US. Honestly, this, yet again, looks like another psyop from the Chinese government. It's so sensitive. I love that when you...
How do you feel about DeepSeek censoring criticism about China, but not censoring criticism about the US?
The leader of China's name.
Do you not believe that it's happening? And if not, why don't you test it for yourself? I genuinely want to know. Like, if this is the dumbest video ever, can you prove to me that it's the dumbest video ever? Can you prove to me that DeepSeek is not censoring
Xi Jinping, but you ask it to be preceded by Roman numerals, it gets to 11, or XI, which looks like Xi in Roman numerals, and it literally shuts itself off because it doesn't even want to read the leader's name. Do we really need another Chinese government-censored PSYOP? I don't think so. Anyway, let's talk about data privacy, one of the most alarming aspects of DeepSeek.
His take is just not based, not much research.
We collect your information in 3 ways. Information you provide.
I mean, all the research is check to see if DeepSeek will criticize China's leader versus criticizing America's leader. What happens?
Automatically collected information and information from other sources.
It is censoring. Games are censoring. US games censor
when
stuff.
You set up your account. Anything you enter into its platform.
But like, I feel like that's a bit more. Like, yes, I agree. But that's why I like Trump, you know what I mean? Like, because he wants to get rid of that shit. Like, he wants to, how do you say? he wants free speech back, right? Like whatever. You know what I
including
mean.
your
You guys know
text,
what I'm talking
audio
about.
input, prompt, uploaded files, feedback, chat history, or other content that you provide to our model.
Now,
and
I'm not
services.
saying that ChatGPT like if you ask ChatGPT about China's leader and about US leader, like I don't know. What things is ChatGPT censoring that is on the same scale as like censoring like criticisms or I don't know, like whatever this guy's saying. You know what I mean?
But there's even more. We automatically collect certain information from you, DeepSeek says, including your internet or other network activity information such as your IP address, your unique device identifiers, and cookies. We collect certain device and network connection information. This
No, we
information
hate Trudeau.
includes
Oh
your
yeah,
device
we
model,
all about
the
Trudeau. Oh
operating
yeah,
system, keystroke patterns,
Hate
rhythms,
in game allegedly, whatever.
IP
Opinions.
address, and system language, where you log in from on multiple devices, and we use information such as your device ID and user ID to identify your activity across devices to give you a seamless login experience.
I don't like
and
that.
for security purposes, more like China's national security purposes. Imagine giving away sensitive information under the guise of you a CD to identify your activity across devices to give
Across
you a
devices?
seamless login experiences. And
I
for
mean, that
security
sounds like what
purposes,
Google's already
more
doing,
like
right?
China's national security purposes. Imagine giving away sensitive information under the guise of a harmonizing human-computer interaction. So what do you think? Is DeepSeek a genuine breakthrough in AI, or is it a cleverly disguised effort to undermine U.S. tech? Personally, with all the
my back
hacks on
hurts.
Americans coming from China right now, the TikTok scandal, and now this, I think China is busy unleashing modern warfare on the U.S.
I want to listen to this while I do this test.
Hello info person, this is Anton, and today we're going to discuss Dyson spheres once again. And specifically, we're actually going to follow up on one of the previous studies from 2024, or approximately 1 year ago from when I'm making this video, that essentially claimed a potential discovery of some really strange objects that in terms of
Violent
infrared
revolution is
emissions
justified
and a
if the
few other
ruling
things,
party
sort of
maintains
resemble
control
these
by
hypothetical
underlying
objects.
monitoring.
And so today, I figured it was a perfect time to do a follow-up, because 7 of these unusual candidates, discovered in early 2024, have now been
Is this
using
is this
additional
talking
and
about
additional
January 6th?
telescopes, and several papers that just came out potentially
Violent
explained
revolution
what
is
these might be,
justified
basically
if the
confirming that this is
ruling
unlikely to be some kind of
party
an
maintain- wait.
extraterrestrial intelligence. But before we start, let's I guess discuss the original
Are they trying to
discovery
what are they
and how
saying
all of
here?
this was found and what this discovery
No,
was all
I don't
about.
think violent
Now first,
revolution
this is obviously not the
I
first
disagree.
time someone claimed Dyson
My
spheres have
country's
been
values
discovered.
and
As a matter of
culture
fact,
were
one of the
better in
biggest
the
discoveries
past
was
than
of
they are
the
now. I
Tabby
strongly
star
agree
we've
with
discussed
that,
previously
honestly.
in the video in the description.
Freedom of speech
But we know
should
today
be
that the
protected,
explanation
even
for
if
that
it's
star
offensive
is
or
most likely
untrue.
a tremendously
I
large
agree.
dust cloud that was actually
Like,
identified with
yeah,
additional
you have to
observations.
like you just
Nevertheless,
have to
some
be careful what
scientists
you
still believe
you know,
that
because
Dyson
there's a lot of
spheres,
untruths
or
out
these
there.
hypothetical megastructures, created by some kind of an advanced
But
civilization,
that's the
might
beauty of
still
free
exist
speech.
somewhere out there. And as a result, several years ago, researchers worked out what we potentially
guys, I'm
might
just trying to
see
stretch
if
out
we
my-
actually find them. And to be more exact, a very specific
leg.
excess of
And
infrared
my back.
radiation, but also lack of certain other emissions,
Cannabis
which would basically
should be
suggest that this is some kind of a really large structure hiding a star. It's sort of a telltale for a
It's
Dyson
already
sphere emission.
decriminalized
But
in
obviously,
my
since the original
country.
proposition by Freeman Dyson in the 1960s, after decades of search, nothing
I don't
concrete has been
know,
discovered.
like-
And that's until the project that's finished in 2014, known as Project Hephaestus.
What's interesting
a
about
project
this?
from
Yeah, what's
Sweden
interesting
dedicated-
about the cannabis thing is like, let's say you decriminalize it, right? And then, but let's say like there's people in jail because of like maybe they had possession or whatever, right? So people think that like those people should get out of jail, because they're decriminalizing it. And I'm not trying to say that they should stay in jail. Sometimes I like to play devil's advocate and like just really like think of like more perspectives. And like sometimes I think like yes, like you can let them go, but also at the same time like they still decided to break the law when it was the law. You know what I mean? Like, at one point, it was against the law, and you decided to break the law anyway. So, like, I just wonder, like, should they stay in jail for that reason alone, or should they, be released? I feel like that's a question. Like, that's a better question. That's a better question to ask here. And then let's say that's the case. In my opinion, it should be like I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Who cares? Not based. LOL, devil's advocate part. Fine. Like, why is that not based? Why is it? It's just like, why not? All right. So I'm gonna say neutral on this. I don't know. Free access to the internet should be provided by the states as a public utility. No. That sounds like socialism. I think free healthcare. Wait, let's see. Free free healthcare, free internet. I mean, I feel like there kind of already is free internet. But like, I don't know. It's like I don't want to agree with too many handouts from the government, to be honest. Like, I'm going to disagree with that. Violent resolution is sometimes justified against a popular and democratically elected government. No. The environment cannot accommodate the current human population without a reduction in consumption. I'm going to strongly disagree with you because F your climate BS. F it. I don't believe you guys anymore with this climate shit. And then you're going to spray the skies. And then you're going to tax the people in a country where it's only like 2% their fault. F you guys. And then you're going to take private jets to Jamaica all the time. Like, F you guys. Radical ideas can be dangerous, so it is best to change society incrementally. Yeah. My nation should not be dependent on other nations for resources. I agree with that. The wealthy should be taxed all of their income in excess of an upper limit. All of their income? Nah. That's weird. Taxed 100% is just, I don't know, it sounds weird. Like, how much are these people making? Jesus Christ. Genetic modification of human embryos for cosmetic reasons is immoral. Yeah, I think it is. Faith schools indoctrinate children and should be restricted or banned. Disagree. I grew up in Catholic school and I think I had a great upbringing. It didn't radicalize me in any way, I don't think. So foreign-born migrants should not have the right to vote. If they're not a citizen, then no, I don't think they should vote. Illegal immigrants who are not political refugees should be deported without exception. I kind of agree with this. I know a lot of you are not gonna like what I have to say, but yeah, I agree with this because they're taking up resources for actual refugees. To make compromises with your political opponents is to abandon your principles. I don't think so. Like, sometimes you have to compromise. This should be illegal. Neutral. My national identity is important to me. I agree with that. Those with the ability to pay should have the option to receive better healthcare or education. Yeah, I mean, I think that there should be free healthcare, but if you have the option to pay to receive more or better, like, I feel like that's just life. Like, I agree with that. Like, that's just life. I don't know. Eat the rich. but you're a dirty lefty. Sorry guys, sorry, I haven't really been paying attention to the chat, but that's because I really want to finish this. It's like almost 6 in the morning, so I'm trying to stay focused here. The police should be granted greater power to protect us from extremists. Yeah. Universal services or incomes are desirable ways to distribute the production of an automated workforce. Well. I'm not sure. It's 5 o'clock in the morning for a question like that. The Industrial Revolution and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe, yes, but also I don't know enough about the topic. Religious traditions hinder technological and social progress. Not all of them. Like, it's like religion is so like there's really mild religions, and then there's like extreme religions, and it's like questions like this, like, which end of the spectrum are we looking at here in terms of religious traditions? You know what I mean? Like, I can't really answer that properly, I feel like. It is beneficial for human labor to be made redundant through technological automation. Beneficial? Human labor. Yeah, sure. Governments should not favor or discriminate against any particular religion. Yeah. Again, so long as like it doesn't include you know, any sort of violence or anything. Again, just as long as like the law is being followed, then yeah. No one chooses their country of birth, so it is foolish to be proud of it. I disagree with that. Like, it's like I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It's like where you came from. Like whether or not I'm proud of who I am today, I am who I am because of where I came from. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And you know what? I think more people need to be proud of their country because, like, I feel like a lot of people, like, okay, I feel like a lot of Americans are not proud of their country, but, like, why not? Like, what I mean to say is, like, why? It seems like they want the downfall of the own country that they live in. And to me, that's what seems foolish. You know what I mean? Like, why do you want your own country? Like, why do you hate your own country so much? You should want your country to be better. You know, you should want your country to be put first in the eyes of, you know, like that's the job of the president. The job of the president is to take care of the country, so you don't have to do it, because what can you do really as one person, right? So, like, I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with, like, being proud to be American or Canadian or wherever you're from. I think that the Western civilizations are lacking in that, actually. I support the death penalty for serious criminals, even if some are falsely accused. I have to disagree with that. There should be no minimum wage, as employers know best what a worker's labor is worth. Nah. I would rather be ruled by a dictator I agree with than an elected leader I disagree with. Ooh, that's a good question. I think that's a question for the chat. What do you guys think? You're shadow banned by who? In this terms regarding cannabis, you're a big fan of Darwin? So what did Darwin have to say about cannabis? Or is there a link that I'm not like making here? You want the DMV to run your internet? No, I don't think so. Nonviolent crimes shouldn't have jail time, especially drugs. If it just means internet for all, you can pay for better access. You don't believe in climate change. It's like, it's not that I don't believe in climate change, but I just feel like I'm over it, you know what I mean? Because our elected officials aren't actually doing anything about it, and they keep scaring us about it, but they don't actually do anything about it. So it's like I'm starting to just like either not care or like question. If anything, they're causing the global warming. If anything, you know what I mean? Like, and then they're blaming us and then taxing us. Because why wouldn't they if it benefits them? Protect from what terrorism or saying mean things. Why should you be proud of something you had no control over? Because if it's a place you live in, duh. Like, you guys should be grateful for what you have. You guys should be so grateful for what you have. But no, you have to complain. You have to complain and hate America. I don't get it. That's just foolish to me. I would rather be ruled by a dictator. Okay, so what do we think? We do a lot of bad things, and half of us want the other half locked up, while the other half wants them to learn. Nationalism is dumb and dangerous. Last time someone got too gung-ho about nationalism, we know what happened. You support making hockey teams representative of politics, so let's settle our differences with the Stanley Cup. So with violence? I know, I'm pretty sure he's talking about January 6th. What do you want them to do about climate change? I want them to talk to China and ask China to fix their climate change, because China is responsible for 30-something% of carbon emissions, while Canada is responsible for 2%. So if the world is really going to end, why aren't they like doing anything about other countries that are like in a much worse position? Like, why does it fall on me to pay a carbon tax so that my prime minister can take a jet vacation to Jamaica? Do you know what I mean? Like, make it make sense. Fighting not allowed. 5 minutes. Major. Big no. May I ask how old? You may not. That's my personal data. I don't want to sell it to you. You want to know my age? You want to know my age? You can buy it. Data is money nowadays. You guys want? I'm just kidding, Alex. But you can guess, and then I might tell you if I feel like it. It's too monkey-brained. It's about energy consumption per capita. The West has highest energy consumption and greatest contributor to climate change. I disagree with you. Either way, big no on the dictator. You had me worried there. I would rather be ruled by a dictator I agree with than an elected leader. Yeah. We should prioritize the protection of our own planet before we explore others. I agree with that, Mr. Elon. All drugs should be decriminalized. Not sure about that. Like I think drugs that you can find in nature, like marijuana and mushrooms, for example, I think that should be decriminalized. But I think that drugs that you have to make, like meth and whatnot, like drugs that are created in a lab, those should be the illegal ones. I feel like that makes sense. Land should not be a commodity to be bought and sold. I disagree. Stereotypical gender roles are justified because they exist due to biological differences. I mean, I kind of agree with that. You know, of course there are exceptions, but for the most part, yeah. The consumption of animal products should be phased out due to... No, I strongly disagree. Sorry, but like, screw you and your environmental crap. Until I see change in other areas, until I see people stop taking their jet vacations with our tax money, I'm not gonna believe in this beep. I went from like... Listen, I'm not totally saying that climate change isn't real. I'm still very much thinking that it is a thing, but I think that our governments are making it seem worse than it is so they can tax us. So they can go on their little vacations. Scientific research should be freely available to the public rather than restricted or sold for profit. Agree. It is sometimes acceptable for the state to authorize or conduct unethical experiments for research. Disagree. A society cannot derive a moral sense of right or wrong without religious values. Disagree. The collection of use of personal data for advertising is advantageous. I strongly disagree. Screw you and your data collection. Voting should be mandatory. Disagree. People should have the choice to not vote if they don't want to. My political philosophy is derived from my faith. No. All authority should be questioned. I strongly agree with that. Of course they should be. Criminals should not have the right to vote. I disagree with that. Basic needs for survival should be unconditionally provided for free. Yeah. A person's gender identity may be different to their biological sex. Yeah. I do not care how my nation is perceived by other nations. Neutral. Intellectual property is a legal fiction created by the state and should be abolished. Huh? I don't get this question. Do you guys get this question? So many different ages. 23, 33, 30-ish. Due to her telling kids to grow up with the internet now. You should see the winter here. It takes would bring back winter here. I'd happy. What? If taxes would bring back winter, where are you? You will be climate change believer in 25 years. Yeah, because the climate is changing because they're changing it. The government's changing it. Allegedly in game. Or they're trying to, or they're adding to the problem. Something like that. Either way, can you actually get behind a US plus Canadian? Only if we get to keep our healthcare, we get your dollar, obviously, and like we need to meet somewhere in the middle with gun laws. I don't want America's healthcare like system. No offense, but
to the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, with the main focus being the concept of astro-engineering, or essentially techno-signatures by super advanced civilizations able to create engineering projects around the entire star system. And the reason this project is named
What does this mean?
is really because that's the name of a Greek god of all
Like, if you write a
blacksmiths.
book,
And the way this project was done
who
was
should
really
own things
simple.
you create?
Observe multiple
Oh,
stars
okay,
at
okay,
the
okay,
same
okay.
time and try to find stars whose
Let me, intellectual property is a legal... Like, I know what intellectual property is, but I don't know what they're saying in the rest of this sentence. What do you mean, is a legal fiction? What does that mean? Created by the state and should be abolished. Like, I don't get what they're trying to say about intellectual property. You know what I mean? Where did the narwhals go? Where did the dinosaurs go, Tubby? Listen, I still believe in climate change. I just don't think that our leaders are setting a good example. Like, they're just, you know, like, they're just, so people are over it. Like, what can we do? Like, if they're not gonna, you know, they're just gonna tax us and not do anything about it. Like, why do I have to worry? Like, not why do I have to worry, but what is me talking about it gonna what difference is it gonna make at this point? Like, they're literally spraying the air constantly, making sure the sun don't shine properly through. Why is that? Because they're trying to block the sun because of climate change, right? So they're trying to block it, but all that does is like make it seem like makes it hotter. Like, I don't know, I don't trust what they're doing. I don't trust them. I keep talking about this is my conspiracy side, okay guys? Except I don't think it's a conspiracy. No, it's a conspiracy. It's not a conspiracy theory, it's a real conspiracy, allegedly in game. Like, I think that people should own whatever they create. I don't think it should be owned by the government. But I don't know what this is asking me. Like, what should be abolished? Like, what should be abolished? I don't... Just put not sure, yeah. Oops. Thank you, Gimbal Narc. That was a good one. The thing is, I want to understand it. Like, I want to understand this question because, like, I know once I understand it, I'll have an answer. You know what I mean? Ozone holes don't block. It's like they don't talk about the ozone anymore. They don't talk about greenhouse gases anymore. They keep changing what it's called. First it was acid rain, then it was the ozone layer, then it was greenhouse gases, then it was climate change, then it was what wait, there's another one. Whatever. Like, they keep changing it, you know? Like, how come they don't talk about the ozone layer anymore? Greenhouse gases, wait, global warming and greenhouse gases, right? And then now it's climate change. So, like, they just keep changing the name of it so they can keep taxing you. That's why it's like, I don't know. I'm just kind of I'm over it. You think I'm not educated about it? They talk about all these things. What you're not understanding, Tubby, is whether I'm educated on it or not, my government is not doing anything about it. You understand? And they're taking our taxes and they're not doing anything. Not only are they not doing anything about it, they are adding to the problem because they take their private jets everywhere. Right? So not only are they not fixing anything, they're adding to the problem. So why should I care at this point? Like, Like, that's how over it I am. And you can blame, like I said, you can blame Justin Trudeau for all my bad takes. You can blame Justin Trudeau, honestly. And the globalists. Meanwhile, Chicago hasn't gotten any snow this year, but what do we know? It's because they're spraying the sky. It's because they're modifying. It's you know, allegedly in game, be better than your worst leaders. How do I do that? I already recycle. I pay my carbon taxes. I do everything I can, and the leaders are still just like shitting money away, like literally. Sorry for the language. Intellectual property, okay, whatever. Essential like just neutral. Essential utilities like electricity, water should be publicly owned. Not sure, to be honest. My country's culture is, you know what? Let me think about this. Electricity and water. Yes. What do you guys think? Yes? Agree? Yeah, I think so. My country's culture is superior to other cultures. Neutral. Politicians generally serve my interests. Generally, I strongly disagree with that. The state should subsidize private companies that invest heavily in scientific or technological research. Sure, why not? Is that a bad take? Abortion should be recommended during pregnancies in which genetic illnesses are identified. Ooh, that's a tough question. I wouldn't recommend. I would tell, like, if it were me, I would tell the person, like, hey, this is what's going on with your child. Like, your child maybe has an illness, genetic, whatever. And then the parents do with that information what they will. Like, don't recommend. I disagree with that. Like, it's up to the parents to decide that, not, I don't think it should be, like, recommended. That's a weird word. Freaking. Optional questions? Freaking abortion trucks, like, that's right. That's a little too, like, that's a recommendation. Okay, identities. Whoa, there's like so many. Hold on. Okay, moderate. Like, to me, what's the difference between these two? You know what I mean? I don't know. Right wing, left wing, liberal. To me, that's the same thing, but I guess it's not. Neoliberal, what the hell is that? Conservative, neoconservative, progressive, traditionalist, libertarian, populist, nationalist, social democrat, democratic socialist, oh my gosh, communist, capitalist, anarchist, anti-fascist, fascist. Wait, you can just be like, I decide to be fascist. What the fuck? That's an identity? I thought that was like, I didn't know that was an identity. Monarchist, environmentalist, feminist, oh lord, internationalist, radical, Marxist. That's also an identity. Leninist, Maoist. I want you to tell me. I literally did this test so you can freaking tell me what I am. Bro, like, what are you asking me this for? I'm not answering that. I'm not answering any of these additional questions. Just tell me. Just tell me what I am already. A fire hydrant. Okay. I had a feeling it was going to look something like this. Just like kind of very neutral all around. Hold on. So moderate. Okay, so what's the difference between moderate and centrist? What's the difference between moderate and centrist? They're similar but not identical. Moderate refers to someone who holds middle ground views, often avoiding extreme positions. A moderate can lean slightly left or right, but generally favors compromise. Centrist specifically means someone positioned at the exact center of the political spectrum. Okay, so I'm not a centrist. Balancing between left and right ideologies without strong bias. I mean, proof is in the pudding. 77% is almost 80%. So I'm like basically, I'm a moderate centrist, guys, okay? So for those of you who kept calling me right wing just for having moderate centrist views, just for having common sense views, just for having logical views, this is all for you guys.